Y'all, it is so hard to believe that this is our last day of our 2-week road trip in Romania. We have made it to the village of Viscri, and this village has less than 500 residents and probably more horses. Check this out. It's so cool, y'all. I will never get over seeing this. So one of the things that this village is popular for is just observing and experiencing traditional Romanian village life. As you can see, it's going on everywhere. There's horses going by, working for the day. There's just geese crossing the road and walking wherever they want. There's cows, there's sheep. We'll go show you all the animals around the village. Another thing this place is popular for, it's basically like guest stays, farm stays, and the food. We're staying at Viscri 32, which is behind me. Y'all, and we'll show you that a little bit later. It is beautiful, but they are known for their slow food. They have a garden in the back. Everything they use is local around the Transylvania region, and the food is delicious, so I'm looking forward to showing y'all lunch there. We're gonna explore the village a little bit and take y'all around, and then we're also gonna check out the fortified church here. Let's go. That's neat. If you look at the top of a lot of these houses on the front at the very top, you can see when they were built. This one behind me, the yellow one, was built in 1807. Not 1907, 1807. The one next to it was built in 1836. And it looks like all of these are pretty much around that same period, built in the early 1800s. I misspoke a little bit. There are quite a few that were built in the early 1800s. But there's a lot more houses, I think, built in the early 1900s. So there's a good mix. Either way, they're colorful, they're beautiful to look at. And I've noticed too, a lot of the locals would just come outside and sit down on a bench in front of their house and just kind of watch the world go by. See who's coming into town. What's going on in the village. Who's this person?
Constant parade of tourists. Constant parade of tourists, that's who's coming and going. The town is very similar to Kobor in that it's like a traditional village town, but it's quite a bit bigger and way busier. Viscri has sort of made its mark in the blogs and the where to goes in Romania, so I think most tourists know and most tourists take them here. It's very charming, it's beautiful, so there's just cars, 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 people, people, people. But you know what? So far I think it's worth it. Let's keep going. Along the walk, you may spot this lovely blue house, and that actually belongs to the Prince of Wales, Prince Charles, or basically the Queen Elizabeth's son, the future king, actually. Anyway, apparently for decades now, Prince Charles has really advocated for the preservation of Romanian countryside and the way of life and the edifices out here, and has been doing so for literally years and years. And at some point he owned this house, or still does, or lived here at some point. I sincerely doubt he still comes to this particular house now. He's probably got a lot more going on, being the king soon. Just tractors and traffic, but supposedly he still has a country house somewhere nearby because he loves to do, like, I think wildflower preservation projects and all kinds of stuff. He's done a lot of work, so that's kind of interesting and cool. It's very popular with tourists. I didn't see how much it costs, but you have to buy a ticket to go in and explore. Very cool, and we've come to kind of the end of town, and then we're gonna go whoop right back and see the fortified church. Most of the villages around here have fortified churches in the villages that you can go and visit, and they look really kind of cool, kind of castle-like. So we're gonna go see the one here in Viscri. I think we all witnessed the school bus earlier when those horses came by with all the kids. We try very hard not to film kids without parents' consent, but it was 2 horses absolutely full of school-age kids, and they were going this direction, and I'm pretty sure that's the school, so I think that's what that was. I think that was the school bus. Also, in the spirit of not filming kids, y'all just picture this scene. Picture it, it's happening right behind you. 4 school-age boys, I'm gonna say 11, each one with a puppy on a like rope lead. Each one of them has a puppy running up and down the street, and then they all bring their puppies to the trough, the watering trough that's in the middle of the town. That's, I assume, for the horses. And then we watch one of them drop the puppy, and they're not drop, but gently trying to give the dog water, but he just is like, hey, go swim. And then from across the street, somebody, uncle, dad, yells, what I'm assuming is, get the dog out of the trough. And we're just like watching this whole thing happen, and he's like, okay. He takes the puppy out, and then they keep running down the street, and it's so cute. It's so cute. You go from chilly to warm real quick. We are on the grounds of the fortified church. It looks actually pretty big, a lot bigger than I was expecting. I wasn't really ready for all this, but let's go. So far I've learned opening hours are 10 to 4. That's all I got for you so far. Man, you can tell what different communities value, you know? The village is modest, small, and then you get to the church, and that thing is a castle. It's huge. Way bigger than I thought it was gonna be. Very cool. I'm impressed. Let's go see. Come on.
Alright, tickets to get inside the castle are 12 lei for adults, 6 for children. 12 lei is like 2 USD, and they have an exhibition inside. You can climb to the top of the tower and just explore as long as you want. Oh, and they take credit card. Let's go. This place is awesome, y'all. There are a ton of fortified churches all around Transylvania. This is the first one that we've actually gone inside though, and I am impressed. We have seen a lot of churches all throughout Europe, but not a fortified church. It is almost like a church inside a castle. We learned that there were some excavations in the 1970s, and they found out basically that this church today was built on top of the ruins of a previous church that was built around the 12th century. This church was built in the 1400s, and much of what you see from the outside with the fortifications and the towers was built in the 1600s. So this whole compound, the church and the fortification, was built by the Saxon colonists that came to the Transylvania region. This is so much fun, y'all. We're going up the main tower here that's connected to the actual church. And it's so tight. You have to duck your head and get really low. But this is awesome. I love these experiences where you get to get in it and feel it, you know? Let's go.
You don't want to be much wider than me, or that's not going to be very comfortable. I felt like I needed to squish in and go like this.
Did you have your light on?
I did. I had my. I couldn't see a thing. I couldn't see a thing until I got to the top. I missed my little lantern from where were we?
Saces.
In Saces. Anyway, let's keep going. Yeah, you need to be pretty steady on your feet to do this.
Have a lot of trust in this wood.
Yeah, on the planks they're like this wide and you need to like walk really carefully on them. I mean...
Oh, you feel the wind just coming through.
It's cool how the wind is carrying a sheet of sounds.
Yeah.
I feel like I can hear every conversation those sheep are having. The wind carries their sounds really, really well all the way up here. It's a beautiful view. I highly recommend. If you can make the little trek up, which it's not like it's hard or anything, it's just tight and a little sketchy. It's lovely. It's very worth it. The hills out here are just majestic. Majestic. Welcome to the gorgeous garden of the Viscri 32 restaurant. It is a slow food restaurant, as they like to call it. There's a garden in the back and everything is very handmade, very homemade, and it is absolutely the place to stop. Even if you're just driving through the area, come here for lunch. Everything we've had so far, which is really just dinner, but delicious. And this tomato soup, ooh, is thick and creamy, and the bread is always good. Absolutely delicious. They even make everything themselves down to like the flavored syrups for your drinks. Delicious. Recommend the raspberry. We're just gonna dig on in and then we'll show you all the food that we get. We'll show you around the property, and later on we have a little fun activity that I'm really excited about to kind of round out this fabulous road trip.
This place is so peaceful, y'all. Like, we are literally the only two people here right now. There's no one else here except the little kitty cat. So they have a garden with a bunch of herbs and produce in the back here, and a lot of that they use for their slow food recipes here. They also get a lot of their ingredients, the cheese, the milk, vegetables, meats, chicken, etc. from this whole area, from neighboring farms and villages as well. Yo, and it is beautiful. The wind feels good. And like, we did that farm stay at Cobor, and that was wonderful. And now we're doing this little village stay and just kind of getting to observe the daily life and taste all the delicious food. Definitely recommend like at least one night here if you can afford it. If not, if you're just driving between, like, let's say Brașov and Sighișoara, stop, have lunch, enjoy it. That smells so good. Smell this strong essence of dill. Maybe some pickled zucchini? Ooh, it's a zucchini stew with like a fried cheese bread. Look at that thing. Oh my gosh. This is comfort food. Romanian comfort food. That's delicious. Everything's cooked so well through. Just a big bowl of vegetables. And that dill really pops. I'm excited about these little cheese sandwiches though. Kind of reminds me of a Monte Cristo without the ham. Ugh. That looks so good. Yeah, I wish you could see what's happening when we were trying to film this little food segment, and every time I stop talking, Ashley goes right to the cats. Cat fight. Cats be catting, you know. That is delicious. That cheese. This is very salty. The bread's fluffy. It has like an egg mixture on it. Fried. Wow.
Yum. We went for dessert just cause we've got a rhubarb, they call it a tart, but I'm gonna call it a rhubarb cake with a meringue top. Oh, let's get into it. Sniff test. Smells like a delicious yellow cake. Very good, very nice. I didn't grow up having a lot of rhubarb. I don't know if it's like it doesn't grow in Texas maybe. I just never had a lot of it, but in my adulthood, anytime it's in season, I like to get some. It's very tasty. Tart and light and fresh. The cake itself is very moist. I'm into this. So this place is Viscri 32. It consists of a restored white barn, which is the main restaurant, and the garden out back. Then you have a beautiful courtyard that has, I believe, a couple more rooms that you can stay in. A very cute vintage Fiat, some kind of grassy areas, and then at the front is the Blue House, which is also a restored village house. Absolutely gorgeous. That's where we're staying. It has 2 rooms in it that kind of connect with a shared kitchen area, which is really great. Would be perfect for groups or families. We thought we'd show you around a bit. Come on. I didn't slam it that time. This is the sort of connecting area between the 2 rooms in the Blue House. We have a kitchen and a gorgeous dining table over there that you have to see the carved details of. Ooh, beautiful. And then our room is just through that door. Come on. Welcome to our very charming room here in the Blue House. I don't even think they do room numbers. It's just kind of the room on the left. That's what we tell them to put things on our tab. But this is our cozy little corner of the village. It's so beautiful. And when you book kind of a farm stay or a village house, even when you see pictures, it's kind of, you have to reserve judgment, because is it going to be real farm, kind of rough around the edges, or is it going to be more upscale? I would definitely call this one towards the upscale end of things. It's got significantly less spiders than the farm stay. Not to throw shade at Codeboard, but there were less spiders. It's beautiful. The bed is comfy and fluffy. The details are so gorgeous. Everything from these wood beams that first of all are carved into beautiful shapes, but the one directly over the bed has these flowers like hand carved into it. Ooh, so when you're laying in bed, you can kind of look up and admire the art. It's got beautiful sort of, I think it's cross-stitch tapestry. I'm not familiar, but I think it's cross-stitch on the walls. It's got a desk area. It's even got a place to put your suitcase, which I always love. And we're right here facing the main road. So with the windows open, you know when everybody's coming and going, and you turn into that small town person that's living inside of you of, what you doing? Where are you going? Who are you? You know, you get a little more nosy. I love that. Also, the bathroom is great. Super hot showers. Very comfortable, and like I would call it an American size shower, which I love because, you know, most European showers are the size of a telephone booth. Let's be real. I have zero complaints. I really love it here. It is beautiful. More details. This is kind of the old-fashioned heater chimney slash like stovetop situation. We also had one at our Coburg farmstay. We've seen different versions of these in apartments like in Sweden, all around Europe. And this one is extra special. I think that they must make the tiles either here at the farm or somewhere in the village, because these tiles are like very much the motif of the property. They have them all over in the blue and the white, which makes sense since they have a white barn and a blue house. They're so beautiful and ornate and gorgeous, and I honestly wish I could like put this in my house that I don't have. But the details are just outstanding. Everything is so well done, even down to like the rain gutters are beautiful. They have these little flowers made out of the metal. Everything is very charming, very gorgeous, but we have to leave all of our charm and gorgeousness to go out and see a man about a horse. Correction. We're here to see a woman about a couple of horses. Ooh, we're going horseback riding for a couple of hours. You want to come? Okay, come on, let's go. Let's meet our little pony friends.
Very cool. And I think we will give Mr. to you. Okay. Just
Hi.
Beautiful.
Mommy?
so we just need to take care of it, okay, because it's windy and maybe the horses are getting scared sometimes. They're long enough.
Okay. Okay.
Feels good with your feet?
Yeah, it feels good.
Try to stand up. Okay. Then we can take the reins.
How you feel?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
He seemed a little nervous before we got on, but I think he's okay.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Johan? Hey, buddy. Well, thanks for the whiplash, buddy. So we've made it to the top of the hill here. We're going through a little patch of the forest. We're going to come out on the other side. We're doing a loop all around Viscri, up through the Transylvanian hills, and back around. So as we come back on the other side, we'll get beautiful views of the rolling hills. Alright, just made it out of the forest. We were just learning that sometimes Johan. Sometimes the brown bears come through the forest and around Viscri, and you really don't want to be near one on a horse because they can spook the horse can get frightened, and they can also spook the bear, and when the bear gets frightened, that's when they start to attack. So hopefully we don't see any bears.
Oh yeah, that's the church. Yeah.
Good boy, Johan. That was so much fun, y'all. Like, I highly recommend if you're in Viscri or anywhere in Transylvania, go on a little trail ride on horses.
Absolutely. It was an adventure. I'll confess, my anxiety got the best of me. I didn't know I was making some pretty decent mistakes with the reins, and my horse got very upset with me and jumped back up on its legs a couple of times. I did not fall off or anything, and they were small jumps. They felt big at the time.
And the horses are huge.
Yeah.
They're really big animals.
So that got me, and I tried to quit. And our guide, she's German, and in the moment I was like, because she was like, "Why are you scared?" And I was like, "Because
I have anxiety." And
anyway,
stuff, and
I overcame literally out of spite, I think, for the experience. I was like, this is going to be fun.
we're only 30 minutes into our 2-hour experience.
This is going to be fun, damn it, is how I felt.
Y'all,
anyway.
I was so proud of Ashley because she had that moment. You could see the wave of anxiety and stuff come over and make her want to stop. And they're like, "Do you want to stop?" And she basically got it all under control very quickly and kept going. Like, I'm so proud of you.
Thanks.
So proud of you.
Always learning. I think our butts are a little tired. We're a little tired, but we definitely recommend the experience. Our guide was great. The ride was beautiful. We're in the meadows. We're in the forests. It was a great time. It was a good time.
It was awesome. Y'all, so this will end our 2-week road trip around Romania. We have had so many wonderful experiences from the nature, the food, the architecture, the history, people. The hospitality of the people here is honestly second to none. It's incredible. Y'all have to come to Romania. Come to Transylvania. Do a road trip. Get around, experience all of this. What you think you're going to experience when you come to Europe in the summertime, in Italy or in France or wherever you go, you won't experience it like you will here in Romania. I'm telling you, it is incredible.
It's its own adventure for sure. And so with that horseback ride, we're going to ride off into the sunset on this series. We'll see you on the next one. Oh, sorry. I slammed the door. That's a very heavy door, Nick. Okay, sorry. Never mind. Ready?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't slam it that time. Pause for sound. Welcome to our very cozy room here at Viscri 32. This is our little piece of the blue house. I'm gonna start again.